guys. Initially, the guys hoped that the puppies would follow their mother, but they were very small and too scared. So they put the mom in the car, and they had to push the puppies with a stick on one side of the pipe and catch on the other. One by one, they grabbed all 3 puppies. After successfully rescuing the puppies from the pipe, they were immediately given to their mother, and she began to feed them. On arrival at the Mladovec dog shelter, they were all examined and given medical attention. Specialists gave them cures from external and internal parasites. There are a lot of car accidents with dogs. This time, this nice dog got her back legs run over. Animal Aid Unlimited India came to the rescue as usual. They spotted the poor girl in a roadside gutter after with her hind legs both fractured. Despite her pain, she was the most pleasant and cooperative young pup. The rescuers took her to the hospital where vets splinted and stabilized her legs. After that, she needed about a week of bed rest. With tender love and care, the dog was feeling better and better. After 3 weeks, she could already bear her weight for a short time. And at the end of the 6th week, the cutie was completely recovered. This cute puppy is tangled in barbed wire. He snagged on the rosary with his collar. Trying to free himself, the poor fellow only did worse. But when he saw the rescuers, the puppy immediately entreated joyfully with his tail. He realized that they would help him. The man initially tried to cut the wire with pliers, but he did not succeed. Then he just untangled the puppy's collar. No doubt the little boy was very happy. The elephant calf fell into a deep hole in the ground full of mud and water. The people living in the village nearby gathered to help the poor thing. The hole was too narrow, and it was almost impossible to get closer to the animal and to get him out. The only thing they can do is to throw the mud into the hole. The people put the log over the hole to let the creature seize it. The baby managed to get out and then went to the forest with his mom. On September 11th, 2017, in the Indian city of Pune, 55 cats were rescued from captivity in an apartment. They were kept in terrifying living conditions. Food delivered to cats was mixed with cockroaches, and the floor was full of feces and urine. It was worse than a wandering cat's life, as they did not have the opportunity to get out of this confinement on their own. And this hell lasted several years until the guys from the rescue team came to help. Poor, scared, skinny cats were taken to the rescue center to their medical care. Rescuers cured, socialized, and cared for the cats. After 6 months, the cats changed greatly and turned from thin, scared animals into playful and gentle pets. Thanks to these guys, cats know that there are kind people too, and they're ready to go to a new house to loving and caring owners. Winter is full of dangers for wild animals, and one of them is to fall under the ice. Volunteers from SLVFD just went to help such an animal in need. He fell into the winter lake. To help the deer get out of this trap, men broke the ice in the path of the poor animal. They sailed to the side, clearing the way and directing the deer to the shore. It was evident how hard he was trying to get out of the lake. He was very cold and scared. He already had not much strength and took his time to get out. The tired but brave deer was finally happy to get on shore and quickly rode off into the distance. Street animals such as cats and dogs suffer the most from winter in the cold. In cold and humidity, animals cannot survive without food. For cats, this time is 6 hours, and for dogs, 17 hours. The municipality of the city of Van in Turkey has decided to make food stations for thousands of stray animals. Various restaurants give away leftover food to provide for these stations. People understand that these animals are part of the ecosystem and sincerely try to help them by giving food and medical care. Veterinarian Robin Azizan said, "The way we take care of these animals is an indicator of the quality and development of our society. We couldn't say better." Sometimes even dangerous animals able to kill people sometimes get into trouble. Having a big heart means being ready to help anyone who is in danger. It looks unbelievable, but even huge beasts like a whale shark may get in danger. 2 divers spent hours trying to help a big shark to break free. It had a string tied up around its body, and cutting it was a really big help for the marine creature. It had been having this string for a long time, as there were some wounds on the shark's skin. Soon after the salvation, the shark swam back to the sea. It would definitely say thank you to people if it could. But even without these words, rescuers should know that they had done something very nice and important for the human being. This doggy was out of luck with the house. He lived among the tires and was no longer looking or hoping to get help, until people from DAR Animal Rescue took him to their shelter. The poor boy had his ears cut with scissors and he suffered from scabies. In the woman's arms, the dog quickly calmed down and accepted help. He was extremely weak and hungry. He was fed right in the car. When he got to the vet, he received all the necessary treatment. After staying there for several days, he was taken to a shelter. At first, he only wanted to eat and sleep, but after several months, he fully recovered. He became joyful and even found friends among his kind. Soon after, he was adopted by a loving family. A kitten got trapped under the wheel and was meowing in terror. As soon as the man got it out, he examined the little kitten's body to see if it was injured. Luckily, the kitten was fine, just stressed and overwhelmed, a gray cutie with speckles of white. The man fed the kitten, and it eagerly got to its food. Hopefully, it's the last time the kitten got into trouble. People from Happy Dog Channel rescue dogs around the region and help them to find loving homes. This cute little puppy was helplessly stuck in the fence. Its head got into one of the holes, and it was difficult to help it out. The rescuer didn't have any instruments and had to go home to bring them to the place of trouble. He had to be in a hurry, as every minute counted. On coming back to the poor pup, he widened the hole, and the dog was free and fine again. The poor fellow was scared, so the workers of the center tried to make friends with it and comforted the puppy. Rescue Animals TN Center is working in Vietnam to help animals affected by various troubles. This time, they saved a kitten living at the landfill. The animal was eating leftovers and looked as if it was starving. It probably had been living there for a few days when it was finally found by the team. The landfill was full of construction materials, and it was a really dangerous place for this cutie. Apparently, the poor little thing was underfed. The man took the kitten to the rescue center. It turned out to be a female kitten, and they called her Nana. They cleaned her and took good care of her. Now, she is okay. Numerous volunteers are working in Australia to save the animals living there from devastating fires and their consequences. Many of their homes have been destroyed. Many creatures lost their moms. A lot of them are starving and out of water. Firefighters give water to the animals they find. This man found 2 koalas, mom and her baby, cuddling, and took them to his car to save their lives. Bigger animals, like cows, are in great thirst too. Everyone is doing what he can to help Australia's wonderful and unique wildlife to survive. This dog was discovered helpless by a woman in the South Los Angeles. It took a rather long time to find the creature in the area mentioned. When they saw the poor thing, they immediately realized that she was blind. Not to scare the dog, the people let her smell them. For her, it was very difficult to trust. The rescuers called her Fiona and took the dog to the hospital. There, she got good care and all the necessary medical tests. The doctor confirmed that Fiona was totally blind, but he was ready to restore vision in one eye. And he did it. Fiona was extremely excited that she could see again. When a tragic flood happens, not only people suffer and need help. This team of rescuers from Sweden rushed to save the poor dog that was stuck in a destroyed house. They tried to get in through the roof. With the help of hooks and sticks, the people managed to take out the nice black pup. The poor creature had no chances to survive without this help. The dog was really scared, but to the humans that came really in time. The cute pup stuck in the mud and couldn't get out. The man passing by realized that he had to do everything to save her life. He went into deed mud up to his ankles and took the dog out. The man brought the nice girl home, washed and dried her. He gave the girl some food and calmed her down. The pup stayed with the man's family, and after some time, she turned out to be pregnant. A bit later, she gave birth to several nice pups. So the man saved not only her life, but the lives of her children. The rescuers from Animal Aid Unlimited India, as usual, try to help the most helpless and suffering. This time, they got a call to save a very sick street puppy. They found him hiding in a plastic bag. He screamed terribly in pain when the specialist touched the bag with his hand. The poor thing was too hungry to resist the biscuits the rescuers offered to him. But every time they tried to touch him, he cried. The dog had severe mange and a deep wound on his hip that was giving him shooting pains every time he moved. The men took the little guy to their center, and it took a lot of efforts for the rescuers to do all the necessary stuff for his recovery. The boy couldn't relax for even a moment in the first several days after rescue. But 6 weeks passed, and with all the medicine and care, Jumper, as the people called him, is happy again. The rescuers from We Care Project found a pup in terrible condition, which was roaming along the streets of Tijuana, Mexico. The little creature was no more than 6 months old, had some skin disease, and couldn't use his hind legs. His fur was covered with feces and dirt. After examining the poor dog, the rescuers found large wounds on the legs, which seemed to cause his paralysis. The rescuers named the dog TJ, took him from the streets, and brought him to a hospital. There, he got all the medication required, and the unique wheelchair was made for him. TJ became strong enough to walk and even run about the city really fast. He also liked swimming, which he needed for recreation measures and training his hind legs. He even started to walk with the help of them a bit. Love and tender care work like magic. This man one day found 2 baby fawns that had been born in his backyard. A deer mom abandoned one of her twins, as the fawn had an injured leg and could not keep up with her. There were a lot of predators around, and the poor baby had no chance to survive. The owner of the house had to take her home. Other pets were very surprised to have a new buddy, but later they liked the fawn very much. Luckily, the leg wasn't broken, and the rescuer decided to make a leg brace, and the little cutie stayed with them, learning how to walk properly and to drink milk from the bottle. The orphan deer was lucky to find a foster dad. The dog, Mac by name, loved the deer very much and took good care of her. At last, her leg was almost okay, and the people decided to find the little deer's mom. The man was looking for her every evening, and at last, he found her. The family was reunited. A few months later, the man spotted the deer and was glad to see that the little girl was safe. All the people on their channels need your support badly, and do help them with your likes and subscriptions. And besides, don't forget about the fact that all the animals bring joy and happiness to our lives. You can get a great amount of positive emotions if you go to Animal Like People channel and watch the most amusing videos about funny dogs and cats. See you! Hi there! You saw lots of animal rescue videos on my channel. Some of them impressed you more than others. So now I decided to gather all the coolest stuff in this video. Be ready to feel touched by the most amazing heroes that did an extremely significant job. The surface of the reservoir is covered with ice and always carries many different dangers for animals. While on the ice, they can easily fall through, as well as slip and fail to get up. This happened with a small deer in the city of Grafton this winter. This baby deer slipped on ice and got stuck to it, even though being close to the shore. Firefighters went on ahead to rescue the poor baby deer. To prevent the animal from panicking, it was decided to approach from the side of the lake. The deer was helped to get out onto the ground, and we can also learn a lesson about the dangers of walking on ice. 3 kittens were abandoned in the rubble. The people from Rescue Kitty channel came to help, but it was a great challenge to dig them out in all that rotten wood. One of the rescuers had to clear the rubble for some time before it could get to the little kittens. The poor cuties were likely to be hungry for a long time and got very cold, and the rescuers had no idea if they were injured or not. The little creatures turned out to be okay, but really scared. Nobody knew why they had been there, and whether their mother was alive or not. The people put them onto the case and gave them milk. They were happy to get some food and calm down a bit. We can imagine what could have happened if the rescuers hadn't found them in time. The rescuers from Hope for Paws got a call about a kitten in trouble. The creature was stuck in the storm drain under the road. The place turned out to be very messy, and it was a real problem to find the small thing there. The man was sure the kitten was hiding at the end of the long tube and secured the other one with a snare. The kitten was really there but didn't want to come out. At last, one of the rescuers used the pole 36 feet long, but it was too short. He used another one, a longer one, and managed to push him out of the pipe. The woman met the little boy at the other end of the pipe.
It's a boy. Okay, kid. Let's go in the carrier.
The rescuers brought the lucky kitty to the doctors where he was examined. He was completely okay and ready to see his new family. The rescuers from Animal Aid Unlimited India knew about a badly injured puppy. This terrible thing happened with her paws. They were crushed by a passing bike. When they found the little girl, they hurried up to the hospital. The tests showed that the poor baby had multiple fractures. She was very brave and didn't make any sound. The doctors couldn't save one of her paws, but could save her life. The little sweetheart was recovering very quickly, so in just 8 days she felt much better. And even with 3 legs, she was very happy and playful to be near her rescuers. The rescue team helps to save animals in Australia affected by ruinous fires. One of them is a baby kangaroo, whose mom is missing. Members of the Humane Society International search the area with great attention and persistence. They don't want to miss out on a single one injured by the fire. They wrap animals in blankets, provide first aid, feed them, and take them to a safer place. Some animals are fortunately fairly easy to approach. Some have burns and require medical assistance. When people from Animal Aid Unlimited India found Edward, this cute donkey, he was in extremely harmful conditions. His legs were terribly wounded, wired up together not to let the animal go away. And the poor creature couldn't even move from the road. Both his legs were badly injured. Donkeys are usually used for doing hard work and carrying weight, which is horrifying in itself. It took the animal 6 months to heal. Edward seems to begin to trust people again, and is now a more relaxed and happier animal living in freedom. The pup got trapped in the wire right on the railway tracks. The poor little puppy couldn't get out and was helplessly waiting for someone to help him and save him from danger. But the problem was that a train was approaching. Fortunately, it all ended well for this cutie. A young man saved him, wrapped him in his shirt, took him home, and gave him some food to eat. Let us hope this little cutie will never get in such trouble again. Do you believe in miracles? After this story, I definitely believe. The fact is that this baby was found bleeding. Blood came from the mouth and nose. In appearance, he had practically no chance of life. Nevertheless, he was taken to the vet, where the doctor did everything possible. On the next day, the puppy literally came to life, and he even had a good appetite. The whole Animal Aid Unlimited team was struck by his strength and will to live. The baby was named Rizu, and now he is a very cheerful and active puppy. While cleaning the river from duckweed, the woman noticed a dog in danger of sinking because of a terrifying whirlpool. The dog was sitting on the duckweed, which was moving, gone with the flow. The woman tried to call the dog, but it wouldn't react. Her brother used his canoe to save the dog while she was sobbing in terror. Finally, the dog was out. The woman's brother pressed it tightly to his shirt to protect it from the cold. The people hurried to take the helpless creature home. There they wiped the dog clean, gave it some porridge, and took good care of it. Let's hope the pup will be okay. The people from Cambodia Wilderness Channel saved this poor pup that had got stuck in the clay jar. The curious baby pushed his head through the hole in the bottom of the jar and couldn't take it out. On hearing the pup's cry, the man rushed to help. He saw the poor thing trying helplessly to get free. The only chance to take the baby out was to crush the jar. Of course, the man did it. The man checked the pup and then let it go. The team from Animal Rescue India managed to save Black Buck that had got trapped in a deep well, using some kind of a swing to take the poor thing out of the well. Putting it down, they managed to grab the animal on the swing and were slowly dragging it with the help of sticks and ropes. At one moment, the black buck got afraid and fell down to the water. But then, it realized that people wanted to help and let them rescue itself. The lucky fellow rushed to the forest as soon as it reached the edges of the well, without saying thank you, of course. Here is one more creature that suffered greatly from natural disaster. This dog is a lucky one because she managed to survive in the terrible conditions. She was rescued from under Hurricane Dorian debris in the Bahamas. The dog had spent about 3 weeks there, drinking only rainwater. When the rescuers found her, the man was shocked.
Oh my God. Let's get you this. Hi, baby.
The animal was almost completely exhausted. Her weight was only 22 pounds, instead of the 45 pounds that the dog of that size could weigh. The people took her to the vet immediately, where she got all the necessary medication. They called her Miracle because her survival was a real one. The rescuers were trying to find her a family. If they fail, Miracle will be waiting for adoption. The people from Animal Rahat saved the life of the cow. It had fallen into the concrete gutter and couldn't get out. The cow was scared and stressed. The cow's owner attempted to free her, but he cut his leg and gave up. The group's animal welfare inspector climbed down into the pit. He gently stroked the cow's nose to calm her down. The man put an industrial harness around her body and attached it to a crane. Being sure that the cow was okay, he gave the signal for the operator to pull her up and out. Finally, the animal was free. The poor thing was taken home, where she had a delicious meal and tender care. This dog arrived in a terrible external state. His hair was so tangled that it was difficult to understand where the head and where the tail is. He smelled strongly of ammonia. This is the worst case in the history of the clinic. To shave off his coat, doctors had to give him sleeping pills. One could see fleas running around on him. They obviously caused him a lot of trouble. Under the mass of tangled, dirty fur was a very cute and playful guy. The little boy was called Miles. These men had the information about a mountain lion that got into a trap, and he hurried to rescue the poor wild animal. Approaching this animal was a great challenge with all its teeth and claws, and the rescuers were planning their actions very carefully. One of the rescuers managed to put the metal ring on the animal's neck. The mountain lion was struggling fiercely.
You might have to get this way a little bit. There you go. Okay. Now get him stretched out.
The man put the head of the animal down to let another one come closer and release its paw. At last, he managed to do this, and the scared but free mountain lion rushed into the woods. Elephants are very empathetic animals, and they never leave their family behind. This time, the Kenya Wildlife Rescue Team rushed to help the poor little elephant calf that was injured. When they came to the place, a giant guardian elephant was nearby, lurking to keep this sick baby safe. It was a rather problematic thing to fend the adult elephant to take the poor baby away. The little calf badly needed medical help, so the vet had to do his job and even put a drop bottle before the transportation. Only after that, the rescuers put the baby on the track. The creature was motionless and, even being a little one, was very heavy. The people had to draw it from the hollow, where it had been. Luckily, the calf was taken to the hospital, where people gave it good care. The plastic, nets, and waste in the sea are a great problem. This poor turtle was found tangled and covered with all this stuff, being exhausted. Some friendly local people from Makunudu Island caught it and uncovered all that garbage and let it go. Luckily, she was uninjured, so she went back to the ocean. Usually, not only people fall under the wheels of a car, but animals too. And most often, these are dogs. This good-natured doggy was hit by a car, but he was able to crawl to the barn and hide. The witness of this incident called the guys from Animal Aid Unlimited India. They examined the guy, and it became clear that his hind legs had failed. The poor fellow could not stand. However, no fractures in the legs were found. The problem was the damage to the spine. The experts used all their strength, and the boy's recovery did not last long, less than 6 weeks. The doggy is very cheerful, and it is clear that he was waiting for a recovery day every minute. Mr. Kisses, that was the dog's name, was grateful to everyone for the opportunity to continue to live a full doggy life again. Not only fish gets on the net, for example, this fox also got on the net, on the football net. His leg got messy, and rescuers from Wildlife Aid came to his side. To free the animal, he was first seized with a special loop. The boy resisted. He did not understand what was happening. But soon he was safely released and taken to the doctor. The veterinarian treated the wound and left the boy for 2 days to recover. A couple of days later, the fox was already released into his native forest. I hope neither he nor the other animal will get into this football net anymore. The Blue Cross organization in India day by day save a great amount of animals' lives. This time they hurled all the efforts for rescuing the cow dropped into the well. The cow was standing in the water helplessly waiting for people's help. 2 men went down and tried to tie her with ropes to take her out. It took some time to do this because the cow was really nervous. But at last it calmed down, and the rescuers managed to do their task. The scared animal ran away as soon as the men took the ropes from it. For the sake of saving their offspring, animals can do a lot, even trust a person. And this is an excellent confirmation. This clever mother dog lived in a pipe with her 3 4-week-old puppies near the regional route. She always ran out of the pipe at the side of a man. She was waiting for help. And one fine day, there was a call to dog rescue shelter Mladovek, and they went to help. The mom dog immediately went to them, and they read "help" in her eyes.